we have a new quarterback list out, okay? And every time there's a quarterback list, everyone gets all upset on where Jalen Hurts is ranked, and that disrespect card comes out, that Jalen Hurts is being disrespected.
Right.
So over the past couple months, there's been quite a few of these lists. And today we have one that I think is a little bit different just because who is making the list, right? If it's talk show host somewhere, if it's a site, then maybe it's just one writer. This is a survey of executives, coaches, and scouts around the NFL. So Jeremy Fowler, ESPN, surveyed executives, coaches, and scouts in the NFL to rank the best players at each position. And then they kind of put all the numbers together and they ranked them. So let me give you the latest top 10 NFL quarterbacks. Again, coaches, executives, scouts around the NFL. Number 1, Patrick Mahomes. Number 2, Josh Allen. Number 3, Joe Burrow. Number 4, Lamar Jackson. Pretty much every list that we've seen this offseason has those same 4 guys as the top 4 in some order. Then the conversation has kind of flown off of that where Jalen Hurts comes down. On this list today, ESPN, number 5, Jaden Daniels, Washington Commanders. Number 6, Matthew Stafford, Los Angeles Rams. Number 7, Justin Herbert, Los Angeles Chargers. Number 8, Jared Goff, Detroit Lions. Number 9, Jalen Hurts, Philadelphia Eagles. Now, they list their highest ranking, like where is their rank the highest? Like, did someone have 1, 2, etc.? The highest ranking Hurts got in this poll was 6. The lowest ranking was out of the top 10. And then they wrote, hey, his status is cemented. He's a Super Bowl winner, plays well in big moments. But this at the end, I think, probably illustrates why he's lower on this list. Quote, the question isn't whether Hurts belongs in the top 10. He undoubtedly does. It's whether he has the ability from the pocket to vault into the top 5 eventually, as his Super Bowl pedigree would suggest he could. More than a few see shades of a Russell Wilson career arc. Hurts has many traits that contribute to winning, but he needs a steady running game around him and wouldn't necessarily thrive in a pass-heavy offense. Number 10, by the way, was Baker Mayfield. Hurts, number 9. Al, your reaction to that?
It's asinine. When you look at what he's done, what he's accomplished. I mean, I don't understand it in total with the Eagles, with their coach and their quarterback. Those are the two engines, the twin engines that make a team win. Usually that they get all the credit. Well, you can go all the way back to the Patriots with Brady and the guy's lost his mind. But
yes.
Yeah, but you really look at it and go, how do you do this? How do you go get to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl, rush for as many touchdowns as you have? And don't tell me tush push, because I've seen teams lose a ball at the 1 yard line and lose momentum going in there. And when you look at when you win games in the NFL, quarterbacks win games on 3rd and 4th down. Jalen Hurts is an incredible 3rd and 4th down quarterback. That is the proving ground for NFL success. 3rd and 4th down. He's remarkable in 3rd and 4th down. And then he had the gall to mention the passing game. How many games has he taken the top off of things whenever you're rushing and rushing? You say, oh, well, that sets up the pass. You're going to make that pass. I don't understand how people that are involved with football, I can understand analytics people or whatever, that people would just look at decimal points. But I don't understand how people who are actually involved in the game don't understand the impact that a quarterback has in a huddle to get guys to do things, to have a team that has so much potential and everybody, okay, you're going to get the ball, you're going to get the ball, you're going to get the ball, and nothing seems to bother anybody, and that comes from the quarterback, especially in a city where you saw a franchise go off the rails with a guy that couldn't do that.
Right.
To come in and do that like this and then get slighted in a ranking like this is insane to me.
So I agree with a lot of what you said there, and I do think he brings a lot of wonderful traits. 3rd and 4th down, he is very good. Right?
Oh, geez, when you watch every Sunday, just watch the games. That's where you win and lose games.
But how much of that is because of the team he has around him? It's part of it. It's part of it. I can't separate that. It is part. So here's my perspective. I'd have him ranked higher than this. When I did my list, I had him 6th. I think he should be higher than 9. I think 9 is too low. And I'd have him above Justin Herbert, who's struggled in the biggest moments in big games and has stunk in the playoffs. Even though Herbert's very talented, he's stunk in the playoffs. So I think this is too low. But I don't know, people feel like he's being disrespected here. I don't think it's disrespect. Here's my theory on it. the Eagles are viewed as the best roster in the NFL. Like they're viewed. I heard Ray last week said there's the first time they're ever entering a season as the unquestioned best team in the NFL. So if you have the best team, they made the coach and the quarterback don't have to be the best at their profession to win with that team. I think Hurts is good. I think he's really good. But we did see the first 4 games last year where they asked him to throw more, and they didn't perform. That happened. And then they asked less of him in terms of the passing game, and the whole operation worked better. It's tough for me to reconcile that with what he does super well. He does a lot of things. I don't think this is disrespect. I feel like a lot of people feel he's being disrespected. Do you?
Yes. You just took apart the quote, the best, one of the best. You just took somebody apart in a Super Bowl.
But isn't greatness consistency, not the ability to do
greatness
something?
Is winning.
Well, but okay.
Greatness is winning.
Yeah, but
that's what it is.
When Nick Foles won, was he great?
Well, he won. This resume, he's already put together resume. I mean, Foles is an outlier in terms of things.
Yeah.
Getting somebody over a finish line.
Let's use Russell Wilson.
Yeah, he's good. He's a very good player.
I agree. I actually think it's the best comp for him. He's Russell Wilson-ish in his prime. Now, Russell was very good, but I'll just speak for myself. I never thought Russell was as good as Rodgers, as good as Peyton, as good as Brady, but he was really good.
Yeah.
And that's the way I kind of view Hurts right now. He's really good, but I think every time these lists come out and he's not 1, 2, 3, or 4, people find it disrespectful. He's 9 on this list, a little bit lower. What's interesting about this one, and you said it, Al, this is not some guy making the list.
No, yeah.
This is and I saw people reacting this morning because WIP put out the list, and it was like, oh, it's just ESPN trying to drive, whatever. Well, but it's Jeremy Fowler asking a GM, hey, give me a list. Send me your list, top 10 quarterbacks. Like this, that person who's responding has no skin in the game for a list, right? They're just responding because they know the reporter and they want to help them out. This is real. Like this is what people in the NFL think.
Well, it's crazy to me to have as much success as he's had, and the numbers aren't eye popping, but you can't dismiss touchdowns. I mean, the things that he does are things that put points on the board. I mean, you have a guy that's so good at something that they want to abolish it.
Well, that they do, and they tried.
I mean, come on. How many times, if you're a great, people look at basketball and say the great players, they change rules for great players. Well, my God.
Like the triangle defense, the triangle offense, and the hand checking,
the keys, just timing the key, all that stuff. This guy's so good at something that they want to change the rules.
Yeah, and they might eventually. They almost did it this year. Kyle, where do you come down? Is Jalen Hurts being disrespectful? Because I feel like that is where people feel like wherever his ranking is, there's a sense of disrespect towards Hurts that people feel.
Yeah, but that's only for the people who've deluded themselves so far. And I think last season, to a large degree, has been, and I'm coining the term here, Hurts washed. Where people sit here and say, well, Jalen Hurts is a winner, which he is. Now all of a sudden he should be number 2 quarterback in the NFL. He's the best player in the city. Jalen Hurts won the Super Bowl for us. None of those things are true. But people have gone so far in that direction that anything even slightly the other way, when he was ranked 5, people were saying it was disrespectful. I wouldn't put him at 9 myself. But to sit here and act like him being listed as a top 10 quarterback in the NFL is disrespect to the guy, I just think you're asking for too much. Why can't it be okay for people to say, we have a quarterback that can win you the biggest game with a good team around him? That should be enough for everybody. But people have to push it and go too far and say, no, this is the best. We have the best this. We have the best that. How about we have the best team in the league right now? That's great. We don't necessarily need to have the number 1 quarterback in the NFL. And guess what? We don't. It's okay. Is he number 9? No. But he's also not number 1. He's also not number 2. And I don't think it's disrespectful. I think it's crazier to say he's the best athlete in the city than it is to say that he's the number 9 quarterback in the NFL.
Well, I agree with that. Yeah, I think this is what it is. He's a good player, but I think we've gotten, like you mentioned the winning thing. How much of it is because of him, though, right? The because of versus he's part of it. NFL history, usually the quarterback is given the most credit for everything. That's usually the way it is.
But quarterbacks are more than their statistics.
I agree with that.
Quarterbacks can sell to a team, to a locker room. And in fact, when you look at this team and you look at how the defense gets along with the all of that is part of that reason is the quarterback. Part of the reason is how he handles himself to put them in a position on a field where they think they're going to win. They'll sell out for him, whatever it takes. Where you have receivers with big egos that just deal with everything because he never lets it get out of control.
Let me throw a different sport comp at you that I'm curious where you come down on it, especially because you're a baseball guy. I think there's some Derek Jeter to him. Derek Jeter was a very good player.
Yeah.
But like in the late 90s, early 2000s, Derek Jeter wasn't as good as Barry Bonds, right? Derek Jeter wasn't as good as Ken Griffey Jr.
Derek Jeter shouldn't have even been playing shortstop on that team.
I agree. A-Rod was a better shortstop.
Yeah.
But he was the leader of a dynasty.
Yeah.
And you go back and I think about that, and I think Jalen's similar to him.
Well, that's not a bad. That's a good place to be.
I mean it as a compliment.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean I thought Jeter was the best player in baseball in 2000. He had won 3 straight World Series. He won a World Series MVP. I didn't think he was the best player in baseball.
Well, if you had taken polls, then where would he have landed?
You know what?
Very, very high.
He probably would have.
Yes.
But he's high.
So why not here?
But he is high. He's 6th or 9th.
No, Jeter would have been on the top of whatever. That's where it goes.
He shouldn't have been.
But he was. That's because he won. That's because he won. That's what this guy does. He does that to you. He makes you. He makes other players better.
Let me ask you a question. Then we'll go to the phone lines. 215-592-9494. And I know it's a hard question. If this poll was done at the end of the second round of the playoffs, would this be a disrespectful ranking? Before the NFC championship game and before the Super Bowl?
Maybe it would have been more in line. Maybe. Maybe.
Yes.
But you can't undo what happened. So they decide to stop a run. Doesn't that mean your quarterback has to do something different?
No. But most of the season was played before that point.
But it's not it's the whole season. You can't look at it that way. You can't go and disassemble a season. This is what they did. This is what it built to. It's not, what's the cliche, it's the journey. You can't just look at it. These 4 games here, these 4. No. Look at what happened at the beginning of that season. Things look like they're coming apart. You have to look at that whole season on what happened. That's crazy to go back and say, well, he wasn't that good then, and then everything kind of clicked.
But isn't that what greatness is? It's consistent excellence. Isn't it?
What's more consistent? Where's his failures?
Well, I mean, they were 28th in passing.
I don't care. No, the failures in terms of this organization. I mean, one season kind of dipped.
Well, no, he's had a great start to his career. We all agree with that.
Well, hold on. If we're going to keep the same energy, because he gets credited with the Super Bowl win, does he not get credited when the team totally fell apart? Like, if the winning is going to be on his shoulders,
that doesn't count. No.
Yeah, right. Well, then the losing has to too. And I'm sorry, but this is why I think the season, to a large degree, has been Hurts washed. The wide receiver had to come out and say that the problem with the offense was the passing game.
It didn't happen.
It's clearly not on A.J. Brown. I don't think he was talking about himself. I don't think he was talking about the offensive line. And I don't think he was talking about the play calling.
But what happened after that?
He played 2 great games. They were amazing. They were all-time Eagles games. I mean, they were, right? A championship game and a Super Bowl. Yeah. He played amazing. But does that make him better than what he is in totality? That's where I don't think this is disrespect.
I think you can't look at, like you say, okay, they had a flat spot with the passing, whatever. What if your whole coaching staff or your whole organization is set up so that you're hitting on all cylinders at the end? You're softening up everybody in a game. It's what they do in games too.
Right.
But that you have to then look at the end result.
But I agree with that. But it wasn't like the playoffs were a steady climb up. I mean, the Rams game in the divisional round, he played bad.
Yeah. What if that was the end result?
It wasn't.
But not to Jalen Hurts' credit. Like, if Jalen Carter doesn't sack Matthew Stafford, then what's the conversation here? Because Hurts washed. It's like he carried the team through the playoffs and won the Super Bowl. It was the defense.
It was the defense.
It was the defense.
And Hurts, I think we all know this. He played great in the Super Bowl and the title game.
It's ultimately, when you look at it, you have to only look at, if you want, look at Tom Brady, who's recognized as the all-timer, right? You can easily go back and have him win no Super Bowls.
All those games were close. They were all close.
All of them.
All close.
But what happened in most of them?
He won them.
Yes.
But there's one missing part of this. He needed to have a drive in most of those games to win the Super Bowl, right? Like he needed to take his team down.
Yes.
And early it was Vinatieri kicking the field goal to win.
Yes.
But Jalen hasn't had to have anything like that. Now, I'm giving him credit because they're up 30 points, so he doesn't need to lead a game-winning drive. But it's not like he's been down 6 with 2 minutes to go and went and won the game. The closest was the Super Bowl two years ago.
2 years previous.
And they were down 8. He tied it.
He makes a mistake, comes back and plays great.
He tied it. But this when he won his Super Bowl, it wasn't like that. We don't have that moment.
Yeah, well, I find it fascinating that it's a city like Philadelphia with a franchise like the Eagles, with a coach-quarterback combination that continually gets I'll say slighted.
Slighted is a better word. I'll give you that.
The impact that they have on this organization.
Yeah, it is. It's viewed as more of they're part of it, but they're not the driving force.
Yeah.
Your read is right. I mean, clearly the executives are saying